What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Her Story. We are gonna get back to figuring out who killed Simon, so let's get it going. So what I think I discovered in the last section or last playthrough was that I need to organize these bits. I think that's what it's supposed to be. So,
Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
let's do... Aha.
There was a conference, something to do with double glazing. In Oxford?
Oxford, that's the other one.
Are you sure? What would he be doing in Oxford if there was no conference? I remember calling him. He said it was boring and he spent most of the time at the bar. It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets.
Yes, it
It
does.
doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
Oh yeah, we got a good one.
No, I have never been unfaithful. I've never cheated on Simon.
Okay. I think this one did it.
Have I ever cheated on Simon? You asked that question yesterday. Simon never cheated on me. He was devoted to me, and I was devoted to him.
I don't know about that one.
Nothing in life is easy.
Absolutely crazy.
We were good to each other.
You killed him.
Life isn't a fairy tale.
Fairy tale. Gotta Google that one.
You do what you can. You're reaching here. And I don't know why. No, I've never cheated on anyone. I've never taken anything from anyone. Simon is dead,
You're sus.
but I have my baby to care for.
What?
Why are you trying to make me sad? Why are you so obsessed with sex and affairs?
Oh, now. Because that's probable cause.
You cheated on your wife.
Whoa.
Such a
Accusatory.
thing.
We're gonna do... Let's see... Aha!
Really? You're going to ask me about my sex life? I mean, isn't that private?
This man is dead. Nothing's private. Not even your privates.
Are you married? How is your sex life?
I'm asking the questions here.
So, our sex life is probably fairly average for a couple after 10 years of marriage.
Fairly average.
No! You're talking to the wrong person if you think I'm some kind of slut.
Oh.
You think I'm the kind of person that would have had sex with all those guys.
Whoa. The other one did.
An affair? Simon wasn't having an affair.
How do you know?
What did your wife do? She didn't kill you.
You did. You killed
You
him.
think I killed Simon because he was having an affair?
Yes.
Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't
Lies.
even there.
How do you know?
I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me. I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him.
What? I spelled that wrong.
And what did your wife do? She didn't kill you. You think I killed Simon because he was having an affair? Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me.
Oh, GLAS.
I mean-
Aha. Helps when you spell things right.
I got in the car and I drove.
You found the body.
I just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow. I was so tired. I just had to sleep. Yes. I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past.
What
Got
rubbish.
some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from a payphone, and then headed back. No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning.
Interesting.
When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi.
Whoa.
Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at.
Hospital.
There's a scratch on the car. Ask the hospital.
Alright then.
I don't see how it's hard. We've established I was in Glasgow when he was killed. You've spoken with the hospital.
Intriguing.
When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs.
Jesus. Wait.
It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I burned the diary that day and I left.
Oh.
Walked out and across the street.
Alright, we're gonna hate that. Stop doing that.
Well, she wasn't my real mother, but she raised me. Do you want to hear the story?
Yes.
It's a real life fairy tale.
Indeed. Real mother. Real life fairy tale. What was the other thing she said?
No, he doesn't keep a diary. That's my thing.
Is it now?
I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. Helps make sense of my day.
Does it?
And when you're forced to put something into words, just gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page. It just became our way of life. We would swap places and take it in turns to do things. And we were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page.
Oh.
We had a list of
So you
rules that
definitely
said
have,
what we
like,
could
multiple
and couldn't do in any given
personalities.
situation. It was exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for things that could only ever happen inside our imaginations. We would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them.
Interesting. Future events. Hmm.
We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty, pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like
Crazy.
life. We had
Bet
this
you whack.
huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flip between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper and dressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart.
Oh.
The princess pricks her finger.
Wait, did she say they were?
We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty, pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre.
Dark. Bizarre. What else do we got?
Violent. They were bizarre and violent.
Violent. Okay, nothing there.
I left the next day, Saturday. I slept for a few hours in the car. And when I woke up, I came straight back. Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and make up. I got back to the house and Simon wasn't there. And I... Is there a bin?
Oh. Ew. Ah, gross.
Yeah. I pulled over and slept in the car. This was just by the side of the road. I was exhausted. I didn't. I slept in the car. I left about 9 that night. I wasn't there.
So you were in Glasgow. The other chick was in the hospital in Glasgow.
If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my tooth first, we had to pull our harness to match. Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and punched her in the face.
Jesus.
Gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me. And she almost went too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. She snuck frozen peas up for me from the kitchen. So much of our bodies was synchronised anyway. We started our period on the same day. All our childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits.
Because you're the same person, bruh.
No. I mean, yes, we have arguments, but he never runs off. He always comes back. We make up. It's always that way.
Seems toxic.
Yes. He left after the argument. It was about 8 o'clock.
8, the other one was 9.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack. I shouted out for him. I walked straight into the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper. He wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly into the living room. Nothing. I walked upstairs to the bedroom. He wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. Then I had a shower. Whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough? Simon's parents offered to put me up, but I didn't think it would be a good idea. It would be too sad. Not right now. I'm staying at a friend's.
But you did it. You're the same person.
No, he was as shy as me. I asked a friend to ask him out for me. We had our first date at the Odeon in North End.
Odeon?
We went to see Risky Business. I had on my one best dress. Simon paid. He bought me a whisper, and I was worried about getting chocolate on my teeth.
Odeon.
Mum and Dad had never had any reason to notice. They were always busy. If Hannah was eating a lot, they didn't mind. She didn't put on any weight. That girl has a healthy appetite. If they heard us talking in the attic, they just thought it was Hannah playing one of her games, and that Eve was our imaginary friend. Once, she was already up and dressed and ready to go to school, and I snuck down for a piss.
Lovely.
Mum saw me in my underwear, she went mad. Get dressed this instant! So I ducked into our bedroom, and seconds later, out came Hannah, dressed and ready. My mum was amazed.
That's wild. Frickin' wild, bruh.
No, he was as shy as me. I asked a friend to ask him out for me. We had our first date at the Odeon in North End.
Odeon. Crap.
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do window, mirror make, artistic. It's the Rockington Arms. Nice drink they're having sometimes. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks. No, not drugs. I mean, he drinks, but never very much. He goes to the pub and has one or two. Sometimes we go together. He drinks wine with food, but no, he doesn't have any kind of drinking problem.
Hmm.
He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo.
Does the other chick
Told
have
me
a
it was
tattoo?
a palindrome, like that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing
Because you're the same
to be
person.
able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
Hmm. Can't spell for shit.
Well, fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people have been there through my things. It's like I've been burgled. I mean, worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't looked in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in.
You.
As good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out.
Oh my god.
And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So,
Well, well, well.
okay. I've given blood before. Do you need to take that for your records? Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The blood. It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Like I said before, it was 3, something like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been
Wait,
cut.
so you saw him on the floor.
There was a lot of blood.
The other one found him in the cellar?
He was dead.
Wait, what?
She was sat behind him.
Ooh.
She had my wig on. And she'd been there all day. And she had blood on her. And she was in shock.
Wow, this is getting interesting, but think we're gonna have to leave this one here. So, if you want to find out if Hannah or Eve or whatever the hell else that person she goes by, come back. And we'll catch you all in the next one. Peace!